Good morning, everyone. Leslie Myrick here, interior designer and business coach with Nancy Quinn and the Profit Insiders Academy. It is Wednesday. It is almost the end of May. Like we're halfway through. It's blowing my mind. And today we've got Kim Vanderpool of Fresh Impact talking about the 3 C's, which I'm dying to know what they are, of social media success for interior designers. Welcome, Kim. Good morning.
Well, good morning, and thanks for having me. It's always exciting to show up here, and I don't have baby now.
I was noticing that we've been talking about kids and grandkids and babies and dogs and all the things before we went live. So I know both, like my kids are both in school. I had one home sick yesterday, but they're gone today. You don't have a grandkid. We can actually focus on this today.
I know. It's amazing, and it fits right into what one of the 3 C's are. So
love it. Okay.
Yeah, I think to get started, it's important to acknowledge something that we all feel. Social media can be exhausting. It's easy to fall in that trap of just posting so we can check the box. And so today I'd like to show a little bit more how we can make it more than just a to-do list, and that we focus on building meaningful connections that can showcase your expertise and use social media as a growth tool for your business.
Okay.
So when we just post, we can all know it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to build your business. No. But when you're intentional and you can be aligning clients that align with you, you can build that trust, and then it offers you a unique opportunity to express your voice. So the 3 C's that we're going to talk about today are clarity, consistency, and connection.
Oh, I like that. Clarity, consistency, connection.
Yes. So the first one we'll talk about is clarity. And so without clarity, what we're doing is we're just shouting to the void. We're shouting to that universe out there, and nobody's really going to know what we're talking about because we don't really know what we're talking about. We ran into this a little bit even on our website right now, is that I go to the website and I'm not even clear about what my services are. So we're doing a major website revamp, because if I, as a business owner, ain't clear, nobody else is going to be clear. So I challenge designers to make sure that they look at their websites, look at their socials. Do you have a clear message when you look at what you're doing, and that your ideal client can follow that? Yeah. So some tips to help clarify your brand message is ask yourself, what do you want to be known for? What's your brand aesthetic? Like how do you want people to feel? What kind of branding colors are you using? And understanding that what we put out there usually gives us people a response, and what we want people to feel. So like Fresh Impact, we tend to do whites and like a navy blue and some golds, because I want people to feel simple and clear and fresh. And that's
fresh. I was going to say that seems very aligned with your business name.
Right. And so looking at those colors, and then ask yourself also, who are you to serve? You know, exactly. I know you guys work a lot with this in your Profit Insiders. It's like, who is your ideal client? And how can you serve them? But is your brand connecting to them? So if you are a luxury brand interior designer and you focus on high-end clients, making sure that you tend to have a little bit more of a polished presence, and you're showcasing your projects that are polished. If you're more of a designer that says, come with me, I will help you do your home, and more of that different type of collaboration, then showing some of that DIY, more of the unfinished projects can work. And so really making sure that who you're trying to attract can come show through. So think about your tone. Are you polished? Are you playful, sophisticated? What kind of representation do you want? I tried to do like memes and stuff on my brand, because everybody says you have to do memes, you're supposed to be funny. Well, I think I'm fun, but I don't know if I'm necessarily funny. And so the memes really didn't feel aligned with my brand. So I tried it for a while, and then I stopped it. And maybe I'll try it again. I don't know. You have to practice a little bit. It's not just set and forget type thing. Think about what your core services are and your offers. And then think about that transformation that you bring to your clients. And so those are all helping with the clarity, along with making sure that you keep your bio, all your captions, and your visuals aligned with your message. And so making sure that the same that you're posting on LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook all aligns together, and it matches what your website is, in case people come back to your website.
No big deal. Just a whole lot. Yeah, but you're right. Like, these are things that they are subtle cues. Like, you might not even be aware that your voice is like maybe your website is very stiff and formal and professional, but on Instagram you're throwing out emojis and slang words, and people see that. They see you on your website, they see you on social media, and without even realizing it, they just kind of like don't get you, don't trust you, and then they will just walk away. And they're not
Right.
going to say, I didn't hire you because I felt that there was an inconsistency in your messaging. They're just not going to contact you or move forward. So
Correct.
these are really smart things to do. And you mentioned earlier, like with your own website, being confused by it. I think it's so important to get out of your normal office day to day and look at everything. Try to look at it with fresh eyes. Like even take your laptop to a coffee shop, do it on your iPad or your phone, and
Right.
look as if you are an outsider. Does everything make sense for your whole brand?
Correct. Correct. Yep. Or ask a colleague. Or if
Mm-hmm.
you have a family member that works well with you, not family members don't always know what you're doing.
Yeah, pick
Or
and choose wisely here.
right, right. Or, audits are really inexpensive. I know there's people on your team, that you guys refer to for website audits. We do social media audits. It's a very inexpensive way to go ahead and get a lot of information to help exactly know where you're at. And so I have a quick win for clarity. This aligns with Nancy's. She's got I just lost what she has. I'll explain it and you'll know what it is.
Okay.
Wait, write one sentence that clearly states what you do, who you do it for, and why it matters, and use that as your North Star. So
Your business in words.
that's it. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So Nancy, I believe it was an offering she offers that people can do that.
It's on her free resources tab on her website still.
Yes. So if you don't know where to start with that, but get that one sentence because that's going to really help you when you come back to the other two C's. So the second C is consistency. So I get asked this question every day. How often should I post?
Mm-hmm.
My response is, what do you want for your goal for social media? If you want it to be brand awareness and you want people to know who you are, then you can get by with posting 2 to 3 posts a week. That's what people are going to get to know. If you said, no, I need to fill my pipeline, well, then we need to talk a different strategy. Then you're going to want to post more frequently. You're going to want to engage. You're going to want to have a whole different, more intense marketing. So baseline is brand awareness, just people getting to know you. And so that's where that consistency is. If I post today and I don't post again until next month, middle of June, end of June, people are going to go like, is she even got a business? Does she really take this seriously? Or what I'm seeing a lot is people will post once and they won't post for 3 months. People don't know if we're even in business anymore. And so that consistency, even if people aren't responding, even if people aren't engaging with your stuff, it's still important to show up and be consistent. When we're consistent, we're telling people, I'm still here. I'm creating for you. I can help you.
Yes. And I know how to run a business. It's a subtle cue, but if your social media, if you've been posting daily because you got excited and you had a ton of posts and then suddenly there's radio silence for 6 months, truly, I mean, it really does erode trust with your audience, and they don't know is she still in business? I find this with restaurants a lot. If I Google a restaurant and I look to see, and like their Facebook page has a post, the last post was like 2022 and the Instagram is really spotty, and I'm like, I will just move on. Like, don't make this hard for people to hire you. Let them see that you're legit, you're doing your thing. And I love what you said, Kim, about it's okay to only post 2 or 3 times a week if your goal is brand awareness and sort of that audience building, but it's not a high converting strategy. I would say too, and maybe you don't recommend this, if you hate social media and you have to have it because you have to have it, once a week is at least there so people know you're not dead.
100%. And that's why we actually have one client that we've posted twice a week for probably for the last 4 or 5 years that we've had her. And she has very few pictures, like 1 or 2 pictures. So we don't even have a lot of photos. But we know her brand. She's bright and colorful. She focuses on dentist and chiropractic offices. So we know who she's talking to. She gets business from social media because of that consistency. Someone reached out to her and said, you came first or came top of mind because I see you all the time.
Oh, wow. So even though you weren't, like, it wasn't a super active many times a week, it was just that really boring consistency that matters.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And she doesn't do very, if any, engagement, but it's that consistency. And what even was more exciting to see was that she moved up on Google. Before, when they had the pages, she was like 8 to 12 page 8, page 12. And
Yeah.
then she was like showing up in that first and second page. And it was just that consistency with the keywords. So I encourage people, you
Wonderful.
can only do it once a week, do it once a week, but do it once a week. Like stay consistent with what you're doing and
Yeah.
making the post relevant and reflective of your brand. The most important thing, we teach this all the time in our marketing club, is building that know, like, and trust. People can't know you if you don't show up. They're not going to like you if they don't see your post, and they're not going to trust you if you're not, again, showing up. So
Yeah.
that know,
Brilliant.
like, and trust. One tip to help with building consistency, especially if you're only posting once or twice a week,
Yeah.
sit down the first of the month, block out 2-3 hours, get your content scheduled, and then
Move on with your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It doesn't, we're overcomplicating it. We want to make it simpler for you just to get it done. So
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, this should be simple. And I know, Kim, with your Get It Done Club, all of our Profit Insiders get access. We hear so many good things about just knowing that there's a focused time to sit down, talk to an expert, crank it out, and move on with your life.
Right. And where I see the hangups is some people want it to be super perfect. Well, social media isn't super perfect. And sometimes people really like to see you just not be perfect
And I think
because,
that trend is shifting back to what
yep.
Instagram kind of started as, was just a little
Yes.
more imperfect.
Right. Especially like designers. If people have never hired a designer, it's a little bit intimidating. Like, here are these people that create these beautiful rooms, these beautiful homes, and they're going to come into my kitchen and see my toaster on the cupboard. And so, so when you can let them see on the, in your stories of behind the scenes, like a little bit of what real life is, then
Yeah.
people are going to develop that connection a little bit, which leads me to that next C, connection. So people will follow you for your design, but they'll hire you because of the relationship they feel through your social media. And so however you can gain that feeling, whether it's, hey y'all, if that's how you talk, or if it's hi friends or howdy, using different engagements on how you would engage with a friend or client now. Don't be afraid to take some of those feelings into your captions that you're posting on Instagram. It doesn't have to be all formal. Engage back when you have the opportunity. So if somebody comments on your post, respond back to them, send them even a DM and just say, hey, thank you so much. And that when you send them that DM, you really build that personal connection. Remember, social media is conversation, not a megaphone. And too many of us fall into that trap. It's a megaphone. Shout to the world, look at me. But really, it's about them. It's about your client. It's about your customer.
That's big, Kim, because I feel like there's this vanity measure of like, I only follow a few people, but I have this huge audience and I shout my words and everyone just comes to me. And okay, fine. Like if you're a celebrity, sure, do your thing.
Right.
But for like the regular interior designers like us, you're right that it's that relationship, because this is such an intimate industry. Like we are in people's underwear drawers. Like you get real with your clients and their homes and their stuff and their money. And they need to know you, and they need to like, it's that know, like, and trust factor with the connection. They need to know who you are and trust that they want to let you into that very vulnerable part of their worlds.
Right. And right now the data is showing that trust is at an all-time low. That, people don't trust. So we have, as business owners, have to work a little bit harder to showcase our trust that they can build on us. So we need to give those behind the scene pictures. We need to show that we're not going to judge somebody if their underwear drawer isn't organized. I mean, that's what your specialty is. And so building that trust, and people do that by letting them glimpses into your life, and especially like in stories is perfect. So you have 2 children. You could take a picture of them walking on the school bus, their last day of school, and you can even have their back so people can't identify them for protection, and just say, last day of school. Who remembers their last day of school? Or are you shouting, unhappy that it's the last day of school? Are you crying in your coffee this morning because you don't know what you're going to do with these kids all summer? So that builds a relationship, and that helps people connect. So if you got the criers, they're going to connect, and the ones that are like, yes, I can't wait, my kids are home all day, and blah, blah, blah. So that way it gets to be a little bit more relational to the client that you want to work with.
That's so valuable.
Yeah. And then commenting on other people's posts is important, because that's really going to help them know you a lot better or build that
Mhm.
trust. So even if it is on a competitor's or another colleague's or a vendor, if they have an Instagram following and they've got some cute chandelier that you like, commenting on that, because when you comment on that, if somebody else likes it, they're like, oh, who's this Leslie? They'll click on yours and then they'll come over and see what you have. And then hopefully your feed is so great that they're going to like, I want to follow Leslie because she's got good stuff. She aligns with me. And that's how you build that following. The last thing on connection is we do connections with people. And so show your face. As hard as
Oh,
it is, show your face. I can see all the beautiful couches, kitchen tables, bathrooms in the world, but I don't know you. And if I don't know you, I'm not going to trust you. So I challenge,
yeah.
if you're posting once a week, then I would do 1 out of 3 or 4 posts with your face. So once a month, if you're doing once a week.
Yeah. And so
If
you're
you're,
talking about like the wall post, not the stories, but
yep,
like the
the
stuff
wall
that's gonna
post.
stick. So
This is
every
just for,
view should be you.
yep, for the wall post. So if you're posting once a month, once a week, I'd have your photo show of you once a month. If you're doing twice a week, then I would go every 6 or 7 post a
Mhm.
picture of you. And if you're doing 3 times a week, then 1 out of those 6 posts should have a picture of you.
I
So,
know people are going to fight us on this, Kim.
yep,
They're not going to want to do it. And I promise this is what brings you business. People want to know you. People want
yes,
to, you're right. Like beautiful couches, beautiful living rooms. Like, yeah, we all do that. That's what we do as designers.
right.
Like that's a kind of a given. I had a client once that I went to meet for a consultation. And one of the things he said to me was, you look exactly like your picture. And I could tell to him that was like, oh, good. Like, you're what I expected. You're who I expected to
Right.
be in my home. And that was a huge compliment because I'm telling you, I have coached designers where I look at their social or their website and they might have this great looking headshot, but it's 5, 10, 20 years old. And I see them and never in a million years would I have connected that is the same human being.
Right.
And that is a little freaky deaky. Like people need to see you as you are now. And it's okay. You don't look like you did 10 years ago.
Right.
None of us do. And we shouldn't. But
Right.
I think, and it's one of those things that I have learned that you just have to suck it up and do it. It only gets easier when you keep doing it.
Correct. And one thing, I was doing videos on my personal Instagram last year, and at first I was like, oh, that's what I look like. You know what? You already know what I look like. You see me on social. You see me in these videos. You see me. So you know what I like. I was the only one shocked about what I look like.
That
And
is such a fascinating perspective. But
yes,
yeah, everyone
and
else sees us.
right.
We look like
We
this.
all know if your ears are hanging too low or whatever, everybody already sees you. They know what it is. It's just a matter of getting over yourself so that people can see you and build that like. And it doesn't have to be branded photos all the time. It
Yeah.
could be just a matter of you drinking a cup of coffee in the morning, relaxing, or walking out the door, or having samples in front of you, or reading a magazine for inspiration. It doesn't have to be all these branded photos. Our cameras do cameras on our phone do a good job, and just some snapshots. If you have children, have them take a picture of you and then say, look what my kid just posted for me,
I like that
and have a
too.
little bit of fun with it. So
You've probably seen this too, but I want to give one tip for that because if you have a phone that has a front and back camera, we all tend to gravitate to like the selfie mode and take the picture. I hate how I look in those, and it's not in my head. Like that lens does weird things, and this is a real thing. So if you can turn the camera around, have someone else take the picture if you need to, but it's a silly thing. But I was like, I don't like how I look in this. I don't want to share this. And I realized
yep,
it wasn't me. It was me using the
right.
tool improperly.
And one other tip, if you don't have anybody else around, is if you get it on a tripod and you can turn around, but then get one of those clickers. They're like $10
Yeah.
on Amazon, and use the clicker, and that works great. That's how I do some of my videos, is just the clicker, because I'm not coordinated enough to
Nope.
figure
And
it
I
out.
also discovered the Apple Watch has a built-in camera like it's cool. If you're an Apple user like me, they've made it really easy. So there's no excuse.
Did not know that. So I will take a look
Yep,
at
it
that.
is a built-in app thingy. I don't know, I should know better, but it's in there and you can preview it on your watch. Like you can see, it's wild. Technology is your friend for social media. Don't be scared.
Yes,
Take
because
your pictures and move on.
right, we want to make it simple. So let's not make social media like dieting and not knowing if we need keto, paleo, vegetarian, whatever. Let's just go back to the basics, the 4 food groups. We want to keep it simple, and we do that with clarity, consistency, and connection.
Mic drop.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that's it.
Thank you, Kim. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
If you are looking to focus on Instagram, expand your online presence, just get more help with social media, whether it's through Kim's Get It Done Club or hiring her for her fantastic Done For You services, she is at freshimpactsocialmedia.com. And Kim, you're also very active in the Interior Design Business Forum Facebook group. And I love seeing you chime in and support designers and give advice. So thumbs up. Thank you for helping us
Thank
look
you.
awesome online.
Thank you so much.
All right. We'll see you next month. Bye, everyone.
Okay.